Okay, I think we're live. Yes, it does look like we're live. Um, yeah, this is an impromptu live stream. So this is not an episode of Please Don't Live Stream. It's not a Please Don't Make a Scene, which I should have been making today. Uh, this is just it's an impromptu thing. I'm mainly doing this live stream just to be able to ramble on without having to sit through hours of editing later. So yeah, I'm a little bit lazy that way. But I just felt I needed to talk about this thing that I read earlier today, and so it's me just venting, but it's also going to be a discussion if people are interested. So please hit up the chat if you want to discuss this thing, because I would like to get your 2 cents on this, and also, but just before we get to what I'm actually going to talk about, I am probably going to make a proper Please Don't live stream episode of this in the near future, uh, where I can actually bounce ideas and opinions off of actual people, not just in the chat like this. So what I am talking about, if you haven't read the description, is the the shady business surrounding the premiere of the new Star Wars movie, the Last Jedi. Um, and I read a review, not a review. I read an article on a website that I follow called Film School Rejects. It's like a movie blog. They have a podcast. They do some reviews and stuff. Um, and they also do like articles like this. And I'm actually gonna. Wow, this is really, my computer is so slow right now. Gotta see what I can do about that. Hold on. Let's see here. Go. Okay. Doesn't seem to be working. What happens if it does this? I wanted to screen share. Share? No, I wanted to screen share, but I'm so bad at this. I don't understand why it's not working. Because I wanted to read. Oh, now it started working, of course, when I start pressing buttons. I wanted to read the article for you. I'm not making this up. So let's see here. Let's just do like this instead. Over here. Sorry about this, people. This is like the one downside with doing it live. Um, you get these lulls, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see here. So I need to screen share. Let me just scroll up on this first. Wow. This is so slow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this. For some reason, this article, with words, no videos, some pictures, it's just super hard to load. Um, Damn it. This is why I should have made an edited video. Oh my god, you can see my nerdy pre memorabilia over here. Don't look at that. No, I don't collect action figures. Please, please, I don't. I do, I do watch old Zorro movies though. But anyway, let's see. I think this is working now, more or less. Okay, let's screen share this. See how that works, and I'll read the article for you. Let's see. Boom. There we go. Okay. Can you still hear me? Yes, you can. Okay, so let's read the article here. Defiant theater owners are refusing to play Star Wars: The Last Jedi, written by Victor Stiff. Ooh. um, and so here we have it. Some exhibitors won't agree to Disney's top secret terms. So we're only 6 weeks away from the latest Star Wars film, The Last Jedi, and anticipation for the movie is building to a fever pitch. Disney provided fans a Star Wars fix last December with Rogue One. Well, yeah, okay. But moviegoers have been waiting nearly 2 years for The Last Jedi to catch up with Finn, Kylo Ren, and Poe, and reveal the fate of the Skywalker clan. Oh yeah. And just as fans are preparing to geek out in movie theaters across the country, how about just as fans are waiting to watch a movie, not geek out? That's beside the point. Let's just get to it. There are reports coming out that some theaters are refusing to run The Last Jedi, the year's most anticipated film. I'm just gonna say, because we had La La Land come out here in Sweden in 2017, that was my most anticipated movie of the year. But I'm just saying, sorry. So Slash Film, which is where I should have been reading this, is reporting via the Wall Street Journal. So this is like the third removed article reading about this. But anyway, this is the one I follow. So they're reporting that the Walt Disney Company's acquisition of Marvel and Lucasfilm has given them an inordinate amount of power and influence over the exhibitors who screen their films. Don't they like own Lego as well? Pretty soon Disney's going to own the world. I'm just saying. Anyway, the article states, for some, Ryan Johnson's Last Jedi, Disney is forcing theaters to agree to secret terms, which many theater owners are calling the most onerous they've ever seen. That's what really caught my eye. So here, some theaters are pushing back against Disney's demands by refusing to show The Last Jedi, and the article lists Disney's terms as follows. This is the nutsy part. Those terms include the fact that Disney will receive 65% of the revenue from ticket sales, the highest percentage of a Hollywood studio has ever demanded. They're also forcing theaters to screen the film in their largest auditorium for at least 4 weeks. For previous Star Wars movies, the studio has required 64% of the revenue from ticket sales and 4-week commitments. But typical Disney movies only require a 2-week commitment. So they're upping the percentage of that they will be taking, and they're also increasing the length that people have to show the movie in their theaters. So theaters breaking these conditions must face a penalty, dishing out an extra 5% of their ticket revenue, bolstering Disney's cut to 70%. So they're going to be taking 70% of the cinema's income from the ticket sales. That's just insane. Typically, studios require that theaters provide 55 to 60% of ticket sales revenue for domestic releases. So even before this, they were like demanding 5% more even. So I mean, just there, it's a little shady. And according to Box Office Mojo, Star Wars: The Force Awakens averaged $59,982 in ticket sales per theater, and Disney's extra 1% cut of profits amounts to $599.82. That 1% increase may not seem like a lot to ask for, but there are plenty of other factors you must consider regarding Disney's demands. First off, Disney is a corporation in the business of making profits. If Disney can raise their percentage to 65% now, what's stopping them from jacking up ticket prices above average rates every time they release a hot film? And if Disney can keep raising the percentage of their ticket sale revenue, what's keeping other studios from following their precedent? Yeah, because this is what people want to do right now. They want to create franchises where they can make the big bucks. So also, additionally, not every theater is a sprawling multiplex with a dozen auditoriums. Smaller theaters and theaters in isolated areas, like here in Sweden, I think the biggest cinema we have, the biggest multiplex we have in the entire country has, I think it's 15 screens. And after that, the next one is 10 screens. and after that, it goes down to 5 pretty fast. We don't have a lot of big multiplexes in Sweden. I'm just saying. Yes. Theaters in isolated areas will remain stuck screening Star Wars well into its run and long after demand for the film dies down. And if theaters must run Star Wars in one of their prime auditoriums, it means that one less screening room to run other major holiday releases. This happened back in 2015 with Tarantino Gate, where he was just furious that Disney was like, pushing his movie out of theaters, saying that, oh, you have to show the Force Awakens on every screen for for 4 weeks. So, oh, but we have this new Tarantino movie coming. We don't care. Our movie comes first, and he was really angry at that. And I understand that. Anyway, with summer ticket sales down from previous years, both studios and theater chains are looking for ways to make extra cash. Fair enough. And if theater chains must eat more expenses, then they'll pass the cost down to moviegoers. It's clear the theatrical entertainment model needs an overhaul, but no one has figured out why. No, no one's figured out how the industry should move forward. The only certainty is that increasing ticket prices will drive customers away. I get the feeling that we're only seeing the beginning of these types of studio versus exhibitor squabbles. So, can you see me? Yes, you can see me. This is the big problem. Um, there. I mean, yeah, like I said, this is a business, and for them, the movie isn't a movie per se. It's a product. It's a way of making money, and that is understandable, especially when we're dealing with such vast amounts of money. I mean, like the average blockbuster now lands somewhere between like 150 and 200 million dollars in budget, and then you kind of have to double that for marketing and ad stuff, advertisements. So yeah, I understand that the studios want to make that money back and turn a profit, of course. But as they're saying now, the ticket sales are going down because we have streaming, but also because tickets are getting way too expensive. I mean, if you want to go to an IMAX screening here in Sweden, if I now I don't have any tickets for The Last Jedi. I wasn't planning on going on the premiere, and I'm definitely not going now. But even if I wanted to get a ticket for the IMAX premiere, where you get the 3D, you get the big screen, and you get to go on the premiere date. I think a single ticket for The Last Jedi was like somewhere up towards like 25, maybe even like $27, and that's for one ticket. That's a lot of money. I mean, I remember back when I saw Pirates of the Caribbean in the cinema. I mean, yeah, that's over 10 years ago now, but I remember watching this in the theater, and the ticket cost me, I mean, adjusted for inflation, about $8. So in the last 10 years, the prices have, they've gone up more than twice what they were 10 years ago, and it's understandable, with budgets and surrounding costs and all that. But that is a worrying trend, because how long can we keep doing this? How long can we keep making more and more expensive movies? Therefore, racking up the ticket prices, even when, like they say, oh, ticket sales were failing this summer, which is strange because, I mean, like it feels like most of the big movies this year made a lot of money, but they're always saying this is the worst year so far. I don't know. And I mean, at a certain point, even if I don't know, like the latest Marvel movie comes out, and and uh, and the tickets cost like 30-35 bucks, people aren't going to go see that. They're going to wait uh, for like a digital release, a video on demand, or when they can like buy the DVD or whatever. People aren't going to pay for that. But at that point, the movies are going to be so expensive that they can't take that loss. That is what I'm thinking. This is a bubble that is about to burst. Um, and like I said, they don't know what kind of solution there is to this problem. And I don't know. I don't know if I have a solution, but I've had this conversation in private with Christopher, amongst others. Uh, you know Christopher from Please Don't Livestream. He was on the latest episode where I've talked about how they should like try to like spend less money on the movie. Because like a prime example from last year is Civil War versus Deadpool. Civil War cost like 200 and I think it was $250 million. And then you add about 250 million for ads and marketing. So $500 million. Now that movie did bring in over $1 billion, I believe, in the end. So yeah, I mean they made their money back and then some. But then you look at a movie like Deadpool that cost $47 million. Now they probably spent that amount and a little bit more. So let's say 50 million. Let's say 50 million on on the ads and the marketing, because there was a lot of marketing. But I mean a lot of viral marketing as well. So they might have kept the cost down that way. But let's say 50 million just to be on the safe side. So that's 100 million. That's still 150 million less than Civil War. And I mean, it's just a personal taste, but um, I liked Deadpool a lot more than Civil War. I kind of liked Civil War, but I really preferred Deadpool. And it was an enjoyable movie. It had a lot of nice special effects. I mean, you couldn't really tell that movie was cheaper on a surface level than Civil War. I mean, yeah, there were less stars in it, but really, how many movies do you go and see nowadays solely because of their star power? I mean, you don't go and see Civil War because Chris Evans and what's his name? What's his damn name? I don't know. The Iron Man guy, Tony Stark. What's his name? Anyway, you don't go and see a movie because he's in it. You go and see it because Iron Man is in it. The age of Hollywood stars are kind of over in that regard. So the real draw is the experience. And based on the budgets, I would say you get a better experience with Deadpool. It was a little bit different. It was a lot more violent, a lot more fun, and it was just yeah, it was a more enjoyable experience. And it cost a fourth. Wait, it cost a fifth. Let's say a fourth of what Civil War cost, but it still pulled in almost $1 billion in the ticket sales. So I mean, they made their money back. Like, I, I'm not good at math, but I mean, they spent $100 million, they made like $900 million back. So they made their budget back tenfold instead of just twofold. So I mean, a movie doesn't have to be that expensive. I understand that movies have to be expensive. You have to pay all your stars. There is, thousands upon thousands of people working on the special effects. But there are ways of making a movie cheaper than that and still making a good movie. Sorry, another great example from this year is Get Out. One of my favorite movies this year. Definitely one of my favorite horror movies of this year. Maybe one of my favorite horror movies in a few years, actually. And I'm pretty sure that movie cost. Let me just check. Actually, I'm pretty sure that movie only cost like $5 million or something. Let's see here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but yeah. The budget for Get Out was $5 million, give or take. So, let's see here. Hold on, sorry. I found the profits, but I want to see the budget as well. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so the movie cost $4.5 million to make. Now that is still a lot of money, but I mean, it's not comparable. It's not even comparable to $47 million that Deadpool cost. So they spent $4.5 million. So let's say they spent $10 million all in all when ads and marketing was done. So $10 million, and on those $10 million, you got one of the best movies of the year, and they made $253.5 million back. So they made a $240 million profit on that movie. So, and that is a perfect example where you have a quality movie made for a lot less money that still brought in its budget like 20 times over. No, that's not true. Yeah, I'm bad. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at math. It pulled in several $100 million on a like on an indie budget, and I say that is the method that Hollywood needs to use in the future in order to create a sustainable industry in the future. They're going to have to cut costs and up the quality. And you think, oh well, that's not possible. Yes, it is. We have proof here. I mean, one of the I don't remember all the budgets, but I know that my personal favorite movie of last year, you know, was the Academy Award nominated, like best movie nominated. Uh, it was Hell or High Water. That movie cost $10 million to make, and there was not a lot of ads for that. But let's say, yeah, it cost 20 millions. You see, that's still relatively low budget, and it was nominated for best screenplay, best uh, best male actor in a supporting role for Jeff Bridges. It was nominated for best movie or movie of the year. I don't even remember. I don't watch the cinema the Academy Awards. I don't know the profit on that one. Probably not as big because it was a very small movie. Let's see what they say. I'm holding my microphone because the this thing where you're supposed to connect it to the camera or your mic stand is just completely broken. So I'm using it like this. I'm gonna have to tape it to like a stick or something. Anyway, Hell or High Water. Let's see. I know that it had a $10 million budget. Damn it. They don't have the profits. That probably didn't bring in as much money, but it was a very it was a very well received movie. And like I said, Get Out was another very well received movie that pulled in a huge profit. So that is what I think we need to do in the future. We need to focus on quality. Screw star power. Screw all this crazy marketing with like fast food chains and commercial tie-ins, video games and apps and all that. Focus on the craft. Focus on the movie making, and that way, even if a movie, even if a movie like Hell or High Water maybe didn't make a huge return, they still only let's say lost. They still only lost $10 million. What happens? God forbid. God forbid one of these Marvel or DC movies flop. It's gonna happen. Sooner or later, it's gonna happen. And when that happens, it's gonna be a a 2 or 3 hundred million dollar flop. Now these companies, that's like chump change for them. But it's still it's a multi million dollar loss that they're gonna have to deal with. And that's when I think that the bubble is going to burst. Movies are going to become so expensive that people don't want to watch them anymore. They want to watch them, but they can't afford to watch them, and it won't be sustainable for the film companies, the producing companies, to make these movies. So instead, on focusing on yeah, on the draw of the big budget, all the effects and all that, try to work on the craft of the movie instead. So you get movies like Hell or High Water, or you get movies like Get Out, or let's see the Academy Award winning movie Moonlight from last year. Let's see what the budget was on that. It cost $4 million. Um, let's see, because that cost $4 million. Let's see if we can find let's see here, profit. Let's see if we can just write profit. I don't think so. That's another one of those really artsy movies. So I should just bring up Box Office Mojo. I'm such an idiot. Sorry. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So no, wait. Oh, you see, that movie cost $5 million. The worldwide box office, that is ticket sales, was $65 million. A 60 million, let's say a $55 million profit. And they also pulled in on domestic video sales. That is not, I mean, I bought it, so that's not counting. This is just what it's sold in America on DVDs and Blu-rays. Another $2.5 million, $2.3 million. So I mean, they made an almost $60 million profit. I mean, yeah, that's chump change, but it's still a profit, and it's a big profit on such a small expense. And I think that is another one where that is the way we're going to have to, they are going to have to do it in the future in order to, cut their losses when this super duper mega $1 million budget thing, this bubble is going to burst. That is what they're going to have to do. And I mean, yeah, most of these movies that I've talked about here are these little like artsy fartsy movies that they win awards, but they don't bring in the audience. But then we have an example like Deadpool. It didn't even cost $50 million. It pulled in almost $1 billion. It is feasible. And I think like the producers and the companies and the production companies are scared that people aren't going to want to watch a cheap movie. But even if they just tried once, let's say the next Captain America movie. I don't know. The next Captain America movie only cost them $50 million. Do you really think that people would say, "Oh no, that looks too cheap. I'm not going to go see it"? No, they won't, because they want to see more Captain America for some inexplainable reason. So I think that maybe this isn't a sustainable thing either. To spend way too little money. They're not going to be able to pay all the stars the fees that they want and all that. But maybe they should try once in a while and release a smaller budgeted movie where they just focus on the craft instead. I don't know. That's what I think. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I haven't really had any viewers, unfortunately. There was one person in here before for a while. No one's in the chat. Okay, well, like I said, I'll probably have a proper discussion about this on a later Please Don't live stream. So this is I'm mainly using this as a recording device here. I just wanted to make it live in case anybody wanted to chime in. So yeah, I got to vent my stuff, and I just want to say, because of this, where it started with the Star Wars thing, I am not going to go see Star Wars in the theaters. My love for Star Wars had cooled anyway. I was not the biggest fan of The Force Awakens. I thought it was a fine movie. I did not like um, Rogue One, despite what I said in my reviews, because I recorded that review like an hour after I saw the movie. Upon repeat viewings, I posted this on Twitter like yesterday or the day before that. That movie doesn't really hold up. Not good at all. Not at all. So yeah, and I was not looking forward to this because honestly, it looks like The Empire Strikes Back, and I don't want to see another Star Wars clone. I want to see if they're gonna make a Star Wars movie, make an original Star Wars movie. And now with this very shady business tactics added, I don't want to support that. So I'm not gonna go see it in theaters. Um, I mean, if a friend of mine says, "Oh, we're gonna go see Star Wars. Do you want to tag along?" Yeah, maybe I will. But I mean, I'm gonna make an effort not to give my money to Disney, because like I said, it's a slippery slope, and we gotta stay vigilant unless we want a movie industry crash. And I don't want that, because despite what I usually think about all these new movies I watch, I actually do love going to the cinema and watching big dumb action movies, or intelligent thrillers or dramas or comedies or whatever. I love it. It's just that I'm a little picky. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this time. So yeah, if you're watching this in the archives, I'm guessing this is gonna be under the clickbait playlist. I'm not really sure, because like I said, this isn't a review. It isn't a proper live stream. So yeah, we'll see where it ends up. But yeah, I don't usually do this nowadays, but I'm gonna do it. Click like if you like. Give that thumbs up if you like this. Give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. But please leave a comment then, so I know how to improve myself. But if you did like this and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm doing at least 2 videos a week now. I'm doing 1 review and 1 live stream each week, and I'm hoping to find more time in my week, in my schedule, to make more videos. But at least 2 videos a week. And also be sure to check out my Patreon to see what you can do to further support this channel and help me stay independent, or become independent. Because right now I am monetized, but I would love to be able to to depend on my fans. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, tune in Tuesday, 8 p.m. Swedish time. That's what is that? That's Greenwich Mean Time. No, that's 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And we're gonna do a live stream. What about? Well, you'll see tomorrow, because I'm gonna release the subject of the Tuesday stream tomorrow. But yeah, enough talking. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.